Alright, so today we're going to be playing this build that focuses around ignoring the obsession, and the first perk is Hex Wretched Fate, and this perk activates whenever the first gen has been completed, and basically it makes it so that the obsession repairs 33% slower. And the next perk is Save the Best for Last, so basically whenever we injure a survivor that's not our obsession, we gain a 4% faster basic attack cooldown, and it stacks up to 32%, so our cooldown is going to be very fast, but every time we injure the obsession, we lose 2 tokens, so we just want to ignore him. And of course Undying in case they cleanse our Hex. But yeah, that's basically the build. As you'll see in the game, it's actually pretty strong, so let's just get into it. Alright, I have Larry's Memorial Institute. Honestly, this should be a pretty good map because the totem spawns are insane, and even if they do find our totems, then we just have Undying. It is pretty big though, but we can use our clones to teleport, so that's not going to be a problem. And yeah, I finally found a survivor. It took some time, but we did find her. Let me just bounce it off the wall so we can get her with the M2. And then we can just follow up with the M1, so perfect. She is our obsession, but honestly, since it's our first chase, then it doesn't really matter because we don't have any stable stacks anyways. Let me just get her with the infecture here again. And then we can break the pallet, and she definitely doesn't expect that. So we should be able to just follow up with another infection, and she's dead, so that's perfect. And usually going for the obsession wouldn't be the best option, but since it is our first chase, then honestly it doesn't really matter that much. Let me just hook her on this pain res, and after that we shouldn't be able to like go for her. At least we shouldn't go for her. And alright, I found them again. We have this thief here, so that's great. I think we can just go for an M1, and if not, then honestly, we'll pull up my power, and perfect, we kind of faked it out, so now he has to go for the pallet, and we have 1 stack of Subiffle, so we'll start getting up, and he goes into a locker for some reason, and I think he had that 1 perk to, you know, get in the lockers and fake it out, but we do get him here though. You know, that one to fake open lockers, and then you lose your scratch marks. Honestly, it did kind of trick me, but let's just get him onto this hook. I will teleport to this guy because it is the closest one to this gen, and yeah, they're working on it again. Let me just kick it real quick. It is almost popped, so not much I can do about that. But this survivor did use a fog vial. We can just get her with the M1 here though, so that's perfect. And then we can probably just follow up with the M2. She's going back to this gen, so that's very good for us, since in case they were working on it, then we can just get them away. I could go for the M1, but I don't want to because she's our obsession. So let me just break this pallet or this gen. And yeah, this gen also has a lot of progress. So let me just get both of these survivors injured actually. And then we can just follow up honestly pretty quickly. She doesn't drop this pallet, which means we can just pull up our power and she's pretty much not dead. Yeah, that was kind of crazy, but we do get her though here. So it's not that much of a difference. And also this gen is still being worked on. So let me just get an M1 on this Steve. And honestly, he's kind of cooked. I'm not sure where he can go. He didn't go like get any distance too, so we can just go for the M1 again, and both of these survivors are here, so that's so much pressure. Oh my, yeah, let me kick this gen again, this time with no blast mine. But yeah, either way, they cleanse more of our totems, but we do have Undying, so that doesn't really change much. And we have the steep here, so that's kind of insane. So let's just hook him here, and then we can probably teleport back to this gen in case they were working on it. We have a perfectly placed clone on it, so that's great. And yeah, it seems like this gen has some progress, so we can see a survivor walking here. And nice, we can actually get her with our power here, unless she kind of avoids it, which is kind of crazy. But we can just break this pallet, and she'll probably unhook this guy, which means we can get her shortly after, unless he body blocks, which honestly isn't that bad, because we get another stack of Subiffle from that. And also, they just led us towards this gen again, so let's go for this survivor now. She is in our obsession too, so we can just get her, and perfect. 5 stacks of Subiffle, by the way, so our, you know, cooldown is really short. And also, we have the Michonne here, so honestly, I might just down her, or at least just get her away from the gen. Let me just place another clone down here, so I can teleport it to later on, and I don't think anyone's nearby, so let me just pick her up. Every single survivor is injured too, so I have so much pressure in this game, and if they prioritize this gen, then they're gonna be pretty cooked, to be fair. And yeah, someone's unhooking her here, so let me just get them both infected, and perfect, that was like literally perfect timing. I will go for the Steve though, because he's healthy, and also he's just close by. Oh my god, I have no idea how that honestly, well played by him, I guess. Let me just break this pallet and go back for this gen, and I think she's going back for it. Oh my god, I have no idea how she didn't hear us, or just like, I'm not sure honestly, see us. But yeah, let's hook her back on this hook again. I'm not sure if she's deathly or not, I don't think she is. And this gen regressed like back to 75%, so we're doing really well now. Let me also kick this gen, and then we can go back for this other survivor. There's a Steve here, so I'll just go for him. He has some some distance on us though, but it should be fine. I don't think this soup has a pallet, so we can probably just get him with the M1 soon. And because we have 7 stabiffle stacks now, then we have such a short cooldown, we can probably get him very fast too. And yeah, he vaults this window, but we'll just vault after him. We should be pretty fine going after him here though. If he vaults this again, which he doesn't, I'll just do a little mind game, and then he's pretty much cooked. He will definitely drop this pallet though, but it's fine because you can get him infected. I will break this pallet, and honestly, I'll just leave him now because this gen is probably being worked on, and we don't want that to happen, and it's not. Wow. But the survivors were healing there. They did use a fog vial though, which is pretty annoying, but we can just cut them off. And nice, we did kind of cut them off. I won't go for the Michonne though. I will just go for this survivor because first of all, she's deathlick. Second of all, she's not our obsession. So we can just go for the... Wow, my game is laggy. Yeah, let's just break this pallet and then hopefully catch up to her again. The gen is still regressing, so we're doing very well in that aspect. Let me just go for her after this window. And yeah, she doesn't make anything, so I can just go for M1. Our cooldown is very slow too, so we can just use our ball to hopefully get these survivors injured. And yeah, he actually almost didn't get injured, infected or whatever, but we can go for M1. Get an M1 just like I said here. I guess we get it on her because she just walked in front of us for some reason. But yeah, he is very close by, so we can just get another one here. And I don't think he makes that window, so perfect. And we still have 8 stacks of, you know, a stabiffle. So there's another survivor back for this gen for some reason. Not sure what she's trying to accomplish, but we can just get her here. So that's pretty much fine. And yeah, someone used a fog vial for some reason. I will go back and kick this gen, and then I'll just go pick her up. And yeah, perfect. I'm gonna go back and kick this gen and then teleport to the other one. Bro, Bros Mine is genuinely so annoying, especially in situations where you can't really let yourself lose any gens. But yeah, we're luckily in a situation where they aren't working on them. But yeah, Michonne was working on this gen. Let me just kick her real quick. We probably can injure her though, because in some situations it's just worth going for the injure. And if not, we can just get her away from it, which is also fine. I will teleport to this gen in case they're working on it. And yeah, that gen behind me should regress down to like 40%, so we're doing very well in that aspect. But this survivor is on deathlick. Honestly, I'll just go for her because she is literally right in front of me and she's injured. And then we can just go for this survivor too. And because of stabiffle, we just have such a short cooldown that I could just get her probably infected. If not, then I'll just go back for the other one. And yeah, I'm not sure if this Nia is deathlick or not, but I guess we'll just find out here. So let's see if she's deathlick. If she is, then that will be great, and she is. Perfect. I will be going back to this gen because I know they are working on it. The other gen is fine. It has like 50% progress now. And yeah, this gen doesn't have much progress too, and it's still regressing. But yeah, we have a Michonne here. I will honestly just go for her. Even if we'll lose our stabiffle stacks, we're so far in the game, it doesn't really matter. But she is leading us away from the other survivors, so I will just go back to these gens. We got her far enough from that gen to where it doesn't really matter if she goes back to it. And she's also our obsession, so she works on it very slowly. Let me just go back for this Steve here though. And nice, we find him here. He does have a pallet though, but it's fine. We can just go around. He doesn't drop it for some reason, which just allows us to get the M1. That was kind of laggy, but we still got it, so that's fine. And then we can just go after him here. He's kind of in a situation where he doesn't have much to do. He doesn't vault this pallet. He vaults it now, and we can just get him, so that's perfect. Let's just pick him up and get him onto a scourge, hopefully. And there's one here, but a gen did just pop. But you know what? It's fine, because we can just get the scourge here. And he's dead, so that's great too. Let's place down a clone close to this gen, so they can't work on it. And also, the other survivor is literally injured and infected. So if we go to her, then she's pretty much dead. But yeah, we will just M1 this Michonne, and we will lose 2 stacks of stabiffle, but we're so late in the game that it doesn't matter at all. So let's just break this pallet. And yeah, we can kind of call her up here. She'll definitely vault this pallet. She doesn't have life though, so she's kind of dead here. Unless she drops this pallet too. But yeah, she vaults it again. She vaults it back. She vaults it again. She vaults it back, and we can get her here. So perfect. Let's just get her onto a scourge or a normal one. Honestly, it doesn't matter to say in the game. But since there is a scourge here, then might as well get her on it. And they did pop a gen though. It's so late in the game though that it doesn't really matter. And also we can just find her shortly after. That fog vial did carry her though, because if not that, then I would see her scratch marks and be able to follow. But they are in the corner of the map, so far away from the gates that we can hopefully just get them easily. And yeah, I can see them going here, so I'll just cut them off. I can see the scratch marks. And nice, we find the Michonne, so let's just go for the M1. I'm not sure who the other survivor is though, but honestly, I'll just pick her up. There is a hook pretty close, so let me just hook her on it. And then I'm not sure who the other survivor is, maybe in this gate. Oh, and she's working on it. I think we can get her though if we do a lucky shot. Perfect, we do get her. I'm not sure if we can, you know, kill her. And I'm gonna spam space. Perfect, we do actually get her, so this will be a 4K. I'm so sorry, girl, but I have to do it. So let's just marry you. Alright, this team was pretty good and they almost escaped, so props to them.